This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
And good morning, 6 o'clock on this green Wednesday. I saw your dress. I chose my tie.
Coordinated. We're very carefully coordinated this morning.
I have all my ties here, so I see what you're wearing first. So
nice.
I do, yeah.
The rolling closet.
Yeah, so this is our final beach day, I would say, and then the slippery slope begins.
I think so, a little bit. We're going to head over to First Alert meteorologist John Scalzi with all of the weather for this weekend.
So I forgot my tie this morning and took one out of the dressing room. So, Ray, this may be your tie. I'm not sure. But I appreciate it if it is.
That's arrogance.
You saved me. Becky in Omayaca, 55 degrees. Mark in Palmetto coming in with 59. And Cooper in central Sarasota, our youngest weather watcher, has 63 degrees. We have some fog out there this morning. It's kind of thick in some places, mostly in inland locations. And along our coastline, visibilities have ranged from 3/4 mile to over 3 miles. So not a big issue yet, but we'll continue to monitor it and see if it becomes so in some locations. 63 Sarasota, 64 Bradenton, Inglewood at 67, inland temperatures in the mid-60s as well. Rain showers to the north are a hint of changes that are developing in our weather pattern. We'll be talking about in a few minutes. Our daytime high today, though, nice, near 80 with lots of sun. Back to you.
All right. Kind of hurt he didn't choose my tie now. Insulted. He didn't like my ties,
Maybe
apparently.
tomorrow.
All right. There's the First Alert traffic right now. You'll see 64 showing some congestion there westbound as you head away from I-75. Otherwise, pretty clear right now in Manatee County. A few delays there on University eastbound. Also, the Bayfront showing some congestion from the Ringling Bridge all the way to the 301-41 split. And South County mostly clear at 6:02 on your Wednesday morning.
Our top story this hour. Right now, wildfires are raging through Southern California.
As ABC's Kenneth Moten tells us, the flames have burned 50,000 acres, causing evacuations and at least one fatality.
Overnight, California wildfires exploded in size, raging out of control.
We just packed up and everybody's gone, and I'm just kind of sticking around making sure that everything's okay. It's really dangerous.
The Thomas Fire in Ventura County jumped major highways, took over hillsides, and lit up the night sky. More than 55,000 acres, 70 square miles in Ventura, north of Los Angeles, are burning. 150 structures damaged or destroyed, 12,000 threatened.
It's just devastating. This was going to be my die-in house. The only thing is the house died before I did.
The Creek Fire in LA County has ripped through 11,000 acres, dozens of homes gone. Ferocious Santa Ana winds and dry conditions fueling 4 wildfires in Southern California, sparking a state of emergency. KABC reporter Jade Hernandez along the 101 where the flames are burning on both sides of the highway.
You can see behind me, this is where the flames jumped the freeway.
150,000 people told to leave their homes and evacuate.
We have not lost lives. Do not wait. Leave your homes.
People rushed to save their property and their animals.
It's craziness. I just don't know where to go. I don't know where to take them.
But this horse forced to fend for itself. Thousands of firefighters working to get the upper hand. Tough conditions expected through the end of the week. Some relief for firefighters today. The winds are not expected to be as strong, but tomorrow that will change. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
New this morning, we're learning more about a foiled terror plot aimed at killing British Prime Minister Theresa May. 2 men are due in court on terror charges, claiming they plotted to assassinate May. The plan reportedly involved first detonating a bomb at the security gates outside the Prime Minister's office before they planned to go on with a stabbing attack. The Prime Minister hasn't commented on the details of the alleged plot yet, but several newspapers report the 2 men were arrested in London and Birmingham last week. The only other detail police would give is saying that the men are 20 and 21 years old. And the International Olympic Committee has ruled Russian athletes can compete at the upcoming Winter Olympics as neutrals. The move comes after the IOC found the country ran an orchestrated doping program at the 2014 Sochi Games. Some competitors will be invited to participate as Olympic athletes from Russia without their national flag or their anthem. Russia could refuse the offer and boycott the Games entirely. President Vladimir Putin has previously said it would be humiliating for Russia to compete without their national symbols.
Developing overnight, the U.S. military flew a supersonic bomber bomber over South Korea as part of a massive aerial exercise was supposed to be a warning to North Korea after they tested their largest, most powerful missile last week. The B-1 bomber simulated land strikes at a military field near South Korea's east coast. Flyovers have increased in recent months as the U.S. continues to flex its muscles and show that they are prepared if the conflict continues with North Korea.
Happening today, Donald Trump Jr. is scheduled to meet with the House Intelligence Committee. Now, he's set to appear before the panel for a closed-door interview today. They're going to get to question President Donald Trump's eldest son regarding the Russia probe. Today's meeting with the House Intelligence Committee follows a similar one back in September with the Senate Judiciary Committee. Trump Jr. is facing growing questions about his meeting with Russian operatives at Trump Tower during the 2016 campaign. House and Senate committees have already interviewed several of the participants in that meeting. Trump Jr. denies any wrongdoing. So just how much has this cost so far? Well, the federal government has spent nearly $7 million over 5 months investigating Russian meddling in the presidential election. The Justice Department released the numbers yesterday. Special counsel Robert Mueller spent over $3 million between May and September, and nearly almost $4 million has separately been spent by law enforcement personnel who do not report directly to Mueller, but they have been working on the investigation. Now, Mueller was appointed in May to lead that investigation into Russian meddling. And for the latest on what's going on from Washington to right here on the Suncoast, you can download the newest version of our app. iPhone users, you have to go to the App Store and just re-download the app. Super easy to do. Just search for WWSB or My Suncoast. Android users, you're going to get that update automatically.
Happening in Florida, a bill to create a slavery memorial at the state capitol has passed its first Senate committee. The bill would direct the Department of Management Services to develop a plan for a permanent slavery memorial at the Capitol complex in Tallahassee. The bill is being pushed by a local state senator.
This Senate bill provides legislative intent, first, to recognize the fundamental injustice, cruelty, brutality, and inhumanity of slavery in the United States and the American colonies, including Florida.
The slavery memorial bill still has 2 more committee stops before it's ready for a vote by the full Senate. In the House, the bill has already passed all committees.
A push to expand gun rights is being blocked in the Florida Senate. A Senate panel voted down 3 separate gun bills yesterday, including a measure that would have lowered criminal penalties for concealed weapons permit holders who violate the ban on openly carrying guns. The votes mean it is unlikely the Senate will consider any gun-related legislation in the annual session that starts next month. State Senator Greg Stubbe, a Bradenton Republican who has pushed gun bills the last few years, said that after the vote, he has no plans to bring any other gun-related legislation forward.
Also in Tallahassee, a grand jury will meet later on this month to consider charges in the death of a Florida State University fraternity pledge. 20-year-old Andrew Coffey died last month when he was found unresponsive after a party. Florida State quickly responded by indefinitely suspending its frats and sororities. Students who attended that party have been subpoenaed to testify before a grand jury, which will meet later on this month.
And for years, there has been controversy surrounding greyhound racing here in Florida. But now a new study is causing even more concern for the industry and the health of the dogs. A recent report by nonprofit animal advocate Gray 2K shows that over the past 10 years, more than 800 dogs have tested positive for drugs. 8 greyhounds tested positive right here on the Suncoast at the Sarasota Kennel Club. The drugs found in the dog systems include cocaine, opioids, Novocaine, and lidocaine. Carrie Thiel, the executive director of Gray 2K, says when the numbers are broken down even further, the information is more disturbing.
It's deeply troubling that we've seen 71 greyhound cocaine positives over the last year, including 68 greyhound cocaine positives in Florida. This is a serious narcotic. It's dangerous to the health and welfare of these dogs. It's obviously something that calls into question the integrity of the bets being placed at these tracks.
Representatives from Gray 2K and the Humane Society of the United States were on the Suncoast yesterday, hosting a grassroots meeting at Cat Depot about the issue. And Florida Fish and Wildlife are offering big incentives for those who catch lionfish. The organization received $25,000 in donations for their new tagged lionfish removal incentive program. The funds will be used as cash prizes to reward those who find and remove lionfish previously tagged by FWC staff. Of course, lionfish are a non-native invasive species that can reduce native fish populations and negatively affect the overall reef habitat. The program will run May 19th through September 3rd next year. 6 to 8 lionfish will be tagged at each of 50 randomly selected public reef sites throughout the Atlantic and the Gulf. Now, to see more, you can find those reef locations at reefrangers.com.
You know, the state's going to tag the lionfish.
Yes.
Just take them out while you're there.
Just a little scoop and remove.
Take the lionfish.
That's got to be the worst job ever, right? Tagging a poisonous, venomous fish that gives you convulsions and diarrhea.
You leave it there.
That's got to be
solid point. Solid point.
Okay. Changes coming up in the weather in a few days. We'll talk about that in a sec.
Also ahead, first alert traffic, and President Trump is expected to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel today.
And we're going to tell you why this controversial move is leaving a lot of foreign policy experts scratching their heads when we come back.
Our nation's servicemen and women show great courage and leadership, both on and off the battlefield. When they transition to civilian life, they can apply the skills and values they learned in the military to the workplace. That's why the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes is urging employers everywhere to be smart, bet on a vet. Hiring a veteran is also a great way to show your appreciation for them. To learn more, call 1-888-44-SALUTE.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Christmas Tradition by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Now Now, your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we've lifted 1 degree to 63 degrees. That takes us 1 degree away from the dew point. So we're on the right track to burn away the fog, but still close enough that we have fog across the area in some places. Some places it's a little thicker than in other places. Inland, the chance of seeing some thicker fog is a little bit greater. Calm winds right now shifting to the south off and on throughout the morning. That southerly wind flow will continue throughout the day, even shifting a little more southwest with time, increasing the humidity across the region this afternoon once again. We have 58 degrees in Gainesville, 64 in Jacksonville, 63 in Orlando, 65 in Fort Myers. The front moving into the northern Gulf Coast, but you ask yourself, well, where's the cold air? Well, it's just starting to move into Pensacola, but cloud cover across the region, kind of keeping the temperatures up just a little bit from 24 hours ago. 62 degrees in Wauchula, Mayaca at 62, 63 Sarasota, and 65 in Boca Grande. Not much in the way of any kind of rainfall around here this morning. The rain showers, this morning are kind of paralleling the east coast, kind of a different flow pattern than we had yesterday when those showers were kind of moving onshore and dissipating as they did so. Most of the rains are located well to our north along a frontal boundary that is still continuing to slowly sink southward. It's going to take its good sweet time. It'll probably take at least 3 days before this frontal boundary actually makes it through. It'll sink a little further south today, then kind of stall out on Friday, not move a whole lot. Then Friday night, a little impulse back from the west will eventually move in this direction, and that will be the final little piece of energy necessary to push this front through the state of Florida, shift our winds around to the north, and draw down that well-advertised cooler air that we've been talking about now for, about 8 days now, I think we've been talking about that. So a little bit of rain shower activity on Friday, but particularly Friday night, I think, is our best chance of seeing some of the heavier rain begin to move in. Mostly sunny, more clouds, and then a colder Friday. The RPM computer model continues to still show, or the GFS rather, continues to still show this trough of low pressure fixed on the east coast, drawing down that colder air for a prolonged period of time, at least a week, maybe even longer in terms of temperatures that'll be in the below average range for this time of year instead of the well above average. Southeast winds at about 5 knots in the extended range forecast shows that chance of rain coming into the forecast, particularly Friday night into Saturday morning. That's when you're going to get that cold rain. And then on Saturday, things will clear out and the sunshine will return, but the cold air locks in and stays with us into next work week. Back to you.
Well, I clearly want to enjoy today, then. A change happens after today. There's the roads right now in Manatee County. 14th Street West has some buildup southbound as you approach Cortez, and it clears out after that. Must be a long red light there. Farther south now into northern Sarasota County. A few blips there. You notice Clark Road, some early buildup there in the eastbound lane as it becomes Clark from Stickney Point towards Swift. Interstate will build up there northbound at Clark. South County, though, all clear at 6:18 on your Wednesday morning.
In a controversial move, but in keeping with his campaign promise, President Trump is expected to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel later today.
As reporter Mary Maloney tells us, the president wants to move the U.S. Embassy from Tel Aviv.
President Trump expected to announce his plan to fulfill a campaign promise with international ramifications.
We will move the American embassy to the eternal capital of the Jewish people, Jerusalem.
It's a controversial decision. A 1995 law passed by Congress to move the capital to Jerusalem has been postponed every 6 months by each U.S. president, citing national security concerns. On Wednesday, Trump is expected to lay the groundwork for its move after another 6 months. Jerusalem has religious significance in Islam, Judaism, and Christianity, and both Muslims and Jews claim the holy city as their capital.
The president wanted to make the decision that was the best decision for the United States.
The president calling Arab leaders across the region Tuesday about the decision. U.S. allies expressing concerns about the detrimental impact on the peace process.
He will be committing a major historical misstep.
Jordan's King Abdullah II warning the decision could, quote, have serious ramifications and implications on the security and stability in the Middle East. Turkey's president calling the potential move a red line. The State Department already issuing a travel warning for Jerusalem and the West Bank. And U.S. troops are standing by after Palestinian factions call for protests and demonstrations in 3 days of rage following the president's expected announcement. I'm Mary Maloney reporting.
Still ahead, another actor is out of a job after sexual assault allegations.
That is right. We'll tell you who it is and just why he was written out of a popular Netflix series when we come back.
But first, a live look at the Western Wall in Jerusalem, a very controversial place right now in light of the president's decision today.
That is right. That is right. And just a reminder, if you have any pictures or video that you would like to see on the show, you can always connect with us on Facebook or Twitter and stay up to date with what we're doing right here on Good Morning Suncoast as well.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
Naomi, my California closet designer, has been my partner in crime. She was genuinely fun to work with. We have had a ball collaborating on the 8 units that we have done in our home. The closets in the house are great, but the den is what everyone comments on when they walk in the house. And it's so beautiful. They say, whoa, who did that? And I said, it's California Closets. My name is Melissa, and this is my California Closet story.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get Debt-Free Now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251, 800-628-1251.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Choral Artists of Sarasota presents Too Hot to Handle. Add an electric spark to your holiday season with the return of this joyful gospel reinvention of Handel's Messiah. Shout hallelujah and get ready for a roof-raising performance featuring an ensemble of 100 singers, plus exceptional musicians and outstanding soloists, including Amy Jo Connors and members of the West Coast Black Theater Troupe. Sunday, December 10th, 7:30 p.m. at the Van Wezel. Tickets and info are at choralartistsarasota.org.
A little fog right now and a big change in the forecast happening today.
It's going to be chilly over the next couple days, but that's okay though. You just grab one of your favorite sweatshirts and then bundle down a little bit. Maybe it's a night for some chili or some warm food out there.
Yes, enjoy today.
Yes.
Today's going to be nice, and tomorrow
beautiful.
the slippery slope begins. We'll have John's details in a few seconds. There's our address. It's got some fresh content. In fact, I loaded a 15-second clip of you and me yesterday on Ray Collins ABC 7 on Facebook. You'll get a kick out of that one.
That's right. I think I remember exactly what that one has. The way the guys refer to certain things.
Yes, like Christmas decorations, for example.
Yes, I like that.
So check out the Facebook pages when you get a chance.
All right, sounds good. Well, it is 6:24. Welcome back. And another actor has been fired amid allegations of sexual assault.
Netflix is dropping Danny Masterson from the show The Ranch following accusations from years ago. ABC's Candace Gibson has the story.
In this morning's GMA First Look, actor Danny Masterson is out of a job after being fired from his Netflix comedy series The Ranch. amid allegations of rape. Masterson says in a statement, "From day one, I have denied the outrageous allegations against me. Law enforcement investigated these claims more than 15 years ago and determined them to be without merit."
Netflix just decided in the interim that it was in their best business interest to cut ties with him.
The actor is accused of raping at least 3 women in the early 2000s. According to a report in the Huffington Post, one woman alleged he forced himself on her at a house party, then choked her when she fought back. The LAPD reportedly investigated, then closed that case back in 2004. And coming up at 7 a.m., Dan Abrams and Larry Hackett weigh in live. With your GMA First Look, I'm Diane Macedo, ABC News, New York.
And the wolf huffed and puffed.
Like you do sometimes, Grandpa?
Well, when you have COPD, it can be hard to breathe. It can be hard to get air out, which can make it hard to get air in. So I talked to my doctor, and she said,
Symbicort could help you breathe better, starting within 5 minutes. Symbicort doesn't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden symptoms. Symbicort helps provide significant improvement of your lung function. Symbicort is for COPD, including chronic bronchitis and emphysema. It should not be taken more than twice a day. Symbicort contains formoterol. Medicines like formoterol increase the risk of death from asthma problems. Symbicort may increase your risk of lung infections, osteoporosis, and some eye problems. You should tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it.
Symbicort could mean a day with better breathing. Watch out, piggies!
Symbicort. Breathe better, starting within 5 minutes.
Get Symbicort free for up to 1 year. Visit SaveOnSymbicort.com today to learn more.
Hey, I'm Bob Vitello. This is Alan Bristow. This looks pretty good. What do we got going on today, bud?
We're making a little Brazilian pork stew, Bob, with some rice on the side. So first thing we've got is some really beautiful, very, very deep red pork. It's got a lot of flavor to it. It's from the loin end of the pork, and it is absolutely beautiful. Just put a little salt and pepper on there, and I've already done that with the one that's cooking in the pan, Bob. So, and don't be afraid of a little bit of salt and pepper. It's not going to hurt anything. So then I took a little bit of bacon fat because we cooked bacon, because bacon goes good with everything, and it goes in this dish as well.
What makes it Brazilian?
I would believe that the hot sauce, the tomato sauce, and the black beans, Bob.
Very cool.
So it's got a real nice look to it. So we'll just get that cooking, and once it gets to that point, we're going to add our pre-cooked bacon right into it. Add a little smoky flavor.
What you got to do is put bacon in there, and it just brings everybody up here.
It makes everything delicious. We're going to add a little tomato soup to that as well.
Cool.
Okay. We're going to stir that in there. And I like to bloom that little tomato soup just a little bit, Bob, so that it gets some good flavor. Then we add a little chicken stock to that. And then we finish it off with our black beans right here.
That looks Brazilian to me, man.
It's looking good to me. I'm loving it. And then you can add a little bit of hot sauce, and add whatever hot sauce you like and however much you like.
You know what's not in here that's good?
What's that?
Cilantro.
Thank goodness. Yeah. I'm not a cilantro fan either, my friend.
So you just kind of let this braise for a while until it just gets nice and tender, and that's it?
Put it in a slow cooker if you like. You can put it in a crock pot if you like, and it works out really, really well. And that's kind of one of the themes we've been doing this month is slow cooking, and it works out really, really well.
Over yellow rice would be good too.
Absolutely.
Pretty cool. Starting tomorrow, be sure to stop by your Publix Apron Simple Meals kiosk. Pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients after sampling this delicious dish. No cilantro.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost, shipped directly to your home for free. These medical-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, arthritis, spinal disorders, and other chronic back problems. Will you qualify for a medical-grade back brace?
Call Back Brace America at 1-800-683-9262.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy, and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business.
Army National Guard soldiers serve to give back to their country and their community. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for benefits such as health and life insurance, education benefits, and retirement and VA home loan benefits. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
ABC7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
This half hour on Good Morning Suncoast, new details surrounding a body found off Egmont Key over the weekend.
Plus, the results are in. We're going to tell you who won yesterday's special Democratic primary in District 72.
And we'll tell you about some local inmates who each have their own tablets. Who's paying for these? Your Suncoast News starts right now.
Live from the ABC7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Look at that sunrise in progress.
That is beautiful. Love to see that again. Get out there right now. It's going to be a gorgeous day today.
Today is going to be nice,
Emphasis
folks.
on today. We're emphasizing today.
The gate goes up, though, after today. John
Yes,
says a slippery slope begins after today. John, I don't recall this kind of change in weather in a long time.
No, we have been above average all last month and certainly this month as well. But things are going to change. We're finally going to be a little bit below average. And that's probably going to last, a week, maybe longer, actually, across the region. So it's going to be a significant change for a lot of folks, I think. A little bit of patchy fog out there this morning. Visibilities in Venice have been reduced to 1.25 miles. So while the dawn is breaking, that's not really a big deal. Before dark when your headlights are on, that might be a bigger problem. But that's not such a big deal right now. Heaviest of the fog is in inland areas, but that's burning off pretty quickly now that dawn is broken. 63 degrees 66 rather in Venice, 63 in Sarasota, 64 in Bradenton. A little bit of rain shower activity to the north. That is the harbinger of what's to come. We'll talk about the timing and how cool it will get this weekend coming up in a few. Daytime high today, about 80, though. Nice day in store for you. We'll be back in a minute with the full forecast.
All right, John, talk to you soon. Checking first alert traffic right now. You'll see some slowdowns on 301 in both directions around State Road 70. Also 14th Street West in the southbound lane at Cortez. Farther south now into Sarasota County University, showing some delays out of Lakewood Ranch and also in both directions around Whitfield Avenue. Also 75 northbound over Clark, some congestion there. South County map mostly clear at 6:33 now on your Wednesday morning.
Topping our news this half hour and new this morning, the Manatee County Sheriff's Office is searching for 2 suspects involved in an armed robbery at an AT&T store last night.
Deputies say the thieves entered the Parish AT&T store armed with a handgun and demanded cash and cell phones. The Sheriff's Office says the men ran off with phones and cash. They're described as African-American males, 6 feet tall, thin builds in black clothing.
New developments this morning involving the body found off Egmont Key last Sunday. Florida Fish and Wildlife officials say it is not the body of a missing Cortez boater. The Manatee County Sheriff's Office has now identified the man as 64-year-old William Robisek, who they believe jumped off the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. His car was found abandoned near the top of the bridge back on November 24th. FWC says the body was found early Sunday by a Good Samaritan. Now, they originally thought the body might be that of missing boater Frazier Horn from Cortez, who the U.S. Coast Guard has been looking for since last month, but his body has yet to be found.
A parish man has been sentenced to federal prison after attempting to file a false lien against a federal judge. This is Wayne Smith, found guilty last July. Last year, he filed a lawsuit against several New Jersey officials claiming that his constitutional rights have been violated. He attempted to record 3 separate liens against several individuals at the Manatee County Clerk's office. He's now been sentenced to nearly 4 years in federal prison. A fire in Bradenton destroyed a mobile home last night. It happened at the WT Mobile Home Park on Manatee Avenue West. The home's a complete loss. Luckily, the owner of the home was able to escape. No word yet as to what caused this fire. For breaking news alerts, go to our app store, ABC7 or WWSB, and reload it. Android users will get that update sent to their phones automatically.
Developing overnight, the special election results are in for the State House District 72 seat. Democrats hit the polls yesterday to choose a Democratic candidate who will face a Republican and a Libertarian in the general election in February. Margaret Good and Ruta Gennari were the 2 Democrats vying for the spot to run against Republican James Buchanan and Libertarian Allison Foxall. They're all running to replace Alex Miller, who resigned her House seat earlier this year. And it wasn't really close. Democrats voted Margaret Good to move on to the general election. She took 72.4% of the votes, and 27% of those voters were in favor of Ruta Gennari. And it is 6:36 this morning. As the population grows and the roads do not, traffic is an issue from Longboat Key North to Anna Maria Island.
Our Rick Adams tells us what the state is doing about the traffic congestion.
Well, traffic does continue to be a major issue here on the Barrier Islands. FDOT did get a chance to hear some input from a lot of folks. The cars keep piling on, and so do some of the frustrations. The Florida Department of Transportation is looking to ease traffic on the Barrier Islands in Sarasota and Manatee counties. On Tuesday, FDOT had a chance to share some of the results from the nearly year-long study, taking a closer look at the issue.
What we develop is a number of alternatives from short-term implementable things like striping and pavement markings, sidewalk fixes, really small things that can really be implemented very quickly, to much longer-term possible solutions.
Some of the long-term solutions include possibly adding roundabouts, a park and ride, a water taxi, and major improvements to the bridges. Mark Atkinson lives on St. Armand's and sees the traffic headaches firsthand. He says dealing with these traffic problems has become a way of life, especially having to give yourself a lot more time to get to where you need to go.
You have to control your pace to get to where you want to go. And not everybody has to do that in life, but we have to do it out here on these islands.
Someone else who sees these traffic issues firsthand is Holmes Beach Police Chief William Tokager. He tells us what FDOT is doing is a big step in the right direction.
I think it'll improve it. I don't know that anything will stop the traffic problem. You got to remember, the word is out. The island is beautiful. People are going to want to come. We're trying to put 100 pounds of potatoes in a 5-pound sack.
This was the first public meeting on the Barrier Islands traffic study of what FDOT officials say will be many more. All those public meetings are expected to take place into the middle of next year. And FDOT officials say the earliest that any work will be done will be late next year or early in 2019. Reporting from Longboat Key, I'm Rick Adams, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Inmates at the Charlotte County Jail now have access to tablets to take educational classes and communicate with their loved ones. The devices are similar to smart tablets, except they aren't able to surf the web. Each of the 660 inmates has access to their own device to communicate with loved ones through the messaging app or take self-help or maybe even anger management classes. There's no access whatsoever to games or movies, and the tablets aren't paid for by taxpayers.
We do not pay a dime for any of these devices. The company provides them for free.
All tablet activity is closely monitored by the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office. They hope this initiative will lead to further expansion with the program in the future. And happening today, it's Charlotte County's 13th annual Shop with a Cop event. Kids get to shop for Christmas presents in a variety of Suncoast Walmarts. Over 100 students have been chosen to receive a $100 gift card and shop with members of both the Punta Gorda Police Department and the Florida Wildlife Commission. Items bought are then wrapped on site by volunteer elves from both of the departments. There will also be other events at Walmarts in Englewood, Murdoch, and Kings Highway all throughout the day.
Happening tonight, Manatee Technical College hosting its 4th annual Career Hiring Fest and Open House. Attendees can learn more about local jobs. Hiring managers from 50 companies will be there, and career counselors will be on hand as well to answer questions from you. The free event starts at 4 and goes till 7 o'clock today.
New this morning, all right, it's time to head into your closets or maybe even your attic and look for some of those antiques left behind, because new this morning, the popular PBS series Antiques Roadshow announced they're going to soon be making a stop in Sarasota. The network's most watched ongoing series will stop on the Suncoast on Thursday, April 12th during a 5-city tour. Now, admission to the event itself is free, but you do have to register for tickets ahead of time in order to be eligible. A random drawing will then be held to see who gets a limited number of tickets in early March. For more information on how to sign up for those tickets and for the drawing, just head over to mysuncoast.com.
I've often wondered if you were to bring an antique to a dealer, wouldn't they sometimes fudge it and say, no, that thing's not worth very much. I'll give you $10 for it. While inside he thinks, that's worth a lot more than
That's
that.
$10 million,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
That must happen.
Yes.
Probably. I guess that's what makes good dealers and bad dealers. I
Yes,
guess.
that's the difference between.
I don't know how you tell the difference.
They just appraise them there, and then I think they can't maybe sell them so much later.
It's so subjective, obviously.
I always wondered how they know so much. I mean, do you have to like pre-register your items so they can do the research, or do they just know that much?
I think there's crowd monitors that go in and look through some of the things ahead of time.
They're what?
They're crowd monitors that go through and look through some of the things ahead of time.
Oh, what do you mean, like aisle 6 has a Rembrandt?
They'll go and see what people are bringing in, and people will be able to give them some research.
Okay, that
I
makes
watched
sense.
the behind the scenes on that show.
Interesting. Thank you very much for clearing that up.
You're welcome for all the TV watching.
We have a little bit of cloud cover building over the next couple of days and some colder air. Talk about it in a sec.
That is right. And still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, the latest in Suncoast First Alert traffic as well. And parents, do you still spank your kids?
We'll tell you why a new study suggests that could lead to violent relationships later in life. But first, a peek outside. Here's our live camera at the University Town Center Mall. Pretty shot there, the Christmas tree.
Beautiful.
With the palm trees.
I
by the
love
side.
that. It's so Florida. That's such a Florida shot right there.
You are watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
So I never had closet systems before. Our designer, Bridget, was able to listen and ask the right questions, taking our ideas and making them happen. We were totally satisfied from beginning to end. I knew the California Closets would help me with every aspect of the design process, and they delivered 100%. My name is Teresa, and this is my California Closet story.
Being the caregiver for someone you love is truly a blessing. But sometimes you can lose a part of yourself. To be your best, for them and for you, it's important to have time to be able to recharge your batteries. When you call Tidewell Hospice, they can give you a chance to do just that. And with the peace of mind of knowing your loved one is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. you may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Back to 100% relative humidity at the airport, 63 and 63 temperature and dew point. That means that there's still the potential of some fog across our region, as these are fairly characteristics of every reporting station across the area. Temperatures have been fairly uniform, 63 in Orlando, 64 in Jacksonville, 68 degrees in Tallahassee, 67 in West Palm Beach. You get the picture. A nice southerly wind flow kind of keeping things fairly uniform. 63 in Parrish, Mayaca at 61, 64 Venice, 62 in Bradenton. So across the state of Florida right now, even though there is some patchy fog, particularly in the spine of the state where the fog is thicker, there's not much in the way of any kind of rain showers. The rain showers are basically paralleling the coast because the wind flow is basically out of the south. That southerly wind feeding the frontal boundary that's kind of stationary along the eastern seaboard, stretching down through the northern Gulf Coast and back into Texas. That front slowly sinking southward and will provide us with, well, the chance of some showers, but it'll probably take 2 days for that to really start to kick into gear. The front itself will kind of stall out and then wait for a little piece of energy from Texas to kind of work its way toward the northeast, and as it does that, that'll be the energy necessary to push that front finally through the state, shift our winds around to the north, and then draw down some of that drier air. Mostly sunny today, more clouds around tomorrow, limiting our temperatures a little bit, and then that cold rain starts on Friday. You know, one way to look at where the fronts are is to, of course, look at temperatures, but also to look at wind direction and the moisture in the air. Moisture in the air is signified by dew points. The colder the value, the less moisture there is. And here we can see there's a pretty big jump between Tallahassee and Pensacola. The front is basically sitting right there in the panhandle. And it's going to take 2 days for it to get south of Naples. That's how slowly this front is going to move. So it'll take a little while, but once it does, some of that colder air that's now located in the northern sections of the country with 30s in many, many locations all the way south toward, well, northern Mississippi even, seeing some temperatures that are pretty close to the 30-degree mark, or upper 30s anyway. We have a southeast wind coming in at about 5 knots today, and the extended range forecast shows, well, some changing weather, particularly starting on Friday, with that front getting closer, bringing us good rain chances Friday night into Saturday, clearing Saturday, but staying cold right into next work week, or at least colder.
All right, thank you, John. Checking First Alert traffic right now. You'll see some issues there. I-75 northbound, 2 lanes blocked at State Road 64. So be aware of that in the northbound lanes. Otherwise, some issues there on 14th Street West in the southbound lane from Cortez all the way down to State Road 70. Checking farther south now into Sarasota County. You'll see an issue there at 75 northbound as you head over Clark Road and head north there as well. Otherwise, pretty clear. South County all clear at 6:47 on your Wednesday morning.
In this hour's Health Smart, to spank or not to spank. A new study shows that spanking your child could lead to increased aggression and violence later on in their lives. According to a new study out by the Journal of Pediatrics, the results were similar regardless of age, gender, ethnicity, or childhood abuse. Other research suggests it's fine to spank your child between the ages of 2 and 6, but too much could lead to similar behavior when they get older. Now, experts argue that spanking is ineffective, but parents might rely on it if they too were spanked while growing up. Despite what research suggests, polls show that most Americans still think spanking is necessary, although that number is declining.
Caught on camera, a video from 5 years ago that singer Randy Travis hopes that you never see, but here it is. The singer had just crashed his car and became belligerent to the officer on scene. Troopers say his blood alcohol content was twice the legal limit. Travis was taken to jail that night and later sentenced to probation and rehab for the crash. The Travis family asked that the video be destroyed and fought in court for years to keep it private, but as you see, a U.S. appeals judge overruled that request. An officer's fast action helped save a 1-month-old who was choking in Savannah, Georgia. His body camera captured the dramatic scene as it unfolded. A call came in of an unresponsive infant in an apartment complex, and Officer William Eng responded and rushed to the 3rd floor. After giving chest compressions for about a minute, the baby thankfully began to cry. The officer's quick actions saved the life, and the officer and the family were reunited where they thanked him at police headquarters. And watch this. Canadian emergency crews rescued a dog that fell through some thin ice. It happened in the town called Swift Current in South Saskatchewan. The fire chief says the dog's owners let it off its leash near the creek, and that's when the animal fell through the ice. Police and fire worked together to rescue the dog. The chief gave this video to Facebook to spread the word about the dangers of thin ice. Clue right there.
That is right. That's right. Yeah. Leashes are helpful sometimes, especially for exploring dogs.
Dangerous. 10 to 7 right now. Still ahead, your top news headlines. And a paramedic spent his birthday delivering a baby in an ambulance.
We're going to tell you what the newborn and the paramedic already have in common when we come back.
But first, a peek outside at Sarasota Bay and Longboat Key in the distance. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast.
It's the holiday sales event here at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKX Sport Utility for $349 per month, or Lincoln's flagship, the 2017 Continental, for $449 per month. We have a great selection of certified pre-owned Lincolns. These vehicles have warranties up to 100,000 miles and come with complimentary roadside assistance. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury. Winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We are located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Listen to this important message. If you owe money to the IRS, you will want to hear this. Penalties and interest compound daily on your back taxes, putting you under a mountain of debt. Tax 10,000 has years of experience connecting people with tax resolution specialists. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, they will handle all the necessary forms, and if you qualify, you may end up saving thousands of dollars. Call Tax 10,000 at 800-817-1064.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to Mesobook.com.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet, a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
It's been about a month, and I can honestly say I've seen the change in me. I went from being a depressed girl who didn't want help to this happy, caring girl who loves helping other people. I just really hope that people that went through what I went through get the help that they need, because their story is important and they are loved. Thank you so much for everything.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Watch ABC7 wherever you are. Just search ABC7 on your streaming device to keep up with the Suncoast from the comfort of your couch. Download ABC7 now to watch us on TV anytime you want. ABC7, we're here for you wherever you are. ABC 7 is the most watched, most trusted news source on the Suncoast, and we owe it all to you, our loyal viewers. Thank you for making us #1.
And here are some of the top stories that we're following for you on the Suncoast today.
Marilyn Good of Siesta Key has won the Democratic primary to replace Alex Miller in the local state House race. She now faces a Republican and a Libertarian candidate in the general election on February 13th.
Plus, the Manatee County Sheriff's Office has identified the body found off Egmont Key as 64-year-old William Robisek, who they believe jumped off the Sunshine Skyway Bridge. His car was found abandoned near the top of the bridge back on November 24th.
And a search is on for 2 men who held up an AT&T store in Parrish last night. The armed robbers escaped with cash and cell phones. Checking First Alert traffic right now as you awaken on this Wednesday morning. Some slowdowns there at I-75 northbound. In fact, 2 lanes are blocked after State Road 64, so be aware of that. Otherwise, pretty clear throughout the rest of the region. 6:55 right now, John Scalzi.
So we've gotten used to these nice sunny days with temperatures in the 80s over the last week or so, and we'll have another one again today. However, tomorrow we start to cloud up just a little bit. That'll reduce our temperature a bit, and then on Friday, I think we get really cloudy. We also have a front moving through. Winds will pick up, and we'll get a good chance of rain showers, particularly Friday night into Saturday morning. That'll be followed by some colder air.
Thank you. Finally now, Maryland paramedic Dan Helsel spent his birthday delivering a baby in an ambulance. But wait, there's more. He himself was born in the back of the ambulance in the same county 42 years ago on the same day.
How does that happen?
Yeah, I know it.
Okay, he went out looking for a baby.
Right, I will deliver a baby. I will find one.
He received a call to help a woman in labor, and she began giving birth as soon as she got in the ambulance, unable to get to the hospital in time. He delivered the infant in the ambulance. Well, now both mother and baby are doing fine. He said he never works on his birthday, but decided to go this year. And what a way to go full circle in Maryland. That story's almost hard to believe.
I love that. I hope that every year they somehow reunite on their special birthday. That'd be pretty cool.
Very good idea.
Celebrate that over and over again.
That'd be nice. Yeah, quite a bond. I mean, obviously, right?
Very much so. Very much so.
Well, enjoy the day. Should be the last nice day for about a week, John Scalzi tells us.
That is right. Stick around. Good Morning America is up next.
Here's a pretty shot from the University Town Center out there, University in 75, as we zoom in on the Christmas tree, palm tree off to the right. Should be a nice day. Enjoy it, folks. Talk to you soon.